The world is here. The world is here.
Hello, my name is Elvis Sequeira.
मैं हूं मलकीत सिंह।
Hi, my name is Sarthak.
आप सुन रहे हैं ग्रेटर नोएडा का अपना सामुदायिक रेडियो स्टेशन सुनो शारदा 90.8 FM।
The world is here. The world is here. The world is here. The world is here at Sharda University. Where are you?
So now we'll move on to the technical session number 3, which is of Dr. Bhuvan Lall, who's a renowned international producer and a filmmaker. This session will be moderated by Dr. Divya Girdhar. But before I hand over the stage to Dr. Divya and to Dr. Bhuvan Lall, I would request our technical team to play a small little AV that the students have made for the guest.
Award-winning filmmaker, international entrepreneur, motivational speaker and author, Dr. Bhuvan Lall has made a mark internationally without compromising his steadfast devotion to the research, dissemination, and celebration of Indian history through his creative and corporate pursuits. Dr. Lall has produced 2 feature films, 35 documentary films, 25 world-class events, and an international TV series. In 2020, he is producing a film on the life of Gautam Buddha. His literary work includes The Man India Missed the Most, a biography of Subhash Chandra Bose and the great Indian genius Har Dayal, which came out in 2020. The entertainment industry veteran has held leadership positions such as president of a multi-billion-dollar Indian conglomerate in Los Angeles, executive director of Indian Broadcasting Foundation, and the senior VP of a TV network. He has served as a member of the International Emmys Council, Indian Planning Commission's working group, and the Indian representative of the world's largest TV trade body, NATPE. He holds a first-class master's degree from Jamia Mass Communication Research Center. In 2019, he was bestowed with the honorary degree of Doctor of Philosophy by the Jharkhand Rai University.
Thank you so much, our tech team, for this wonderful presentation, and thank you so much, our students, who have done a great job in making this AV. Now I would request Dr. Divya to take over the mic. The spotlight is on you, Divya. Please take
Thank you, Amit sir. Thank you. I, Dr. Divya, welcome Dr. Bhuvan Lall on behalf of entire Sharda University School of Media, Film Entertainment, Department of Mass Communication. We can go all day, but I would still fall short of words describing his achievements. So without any further delay, I invite to Dr. Bhuvan Lall to take over this virtual stage.
Thank you, Ritu. Thank you, Amit. Great to be back in the Sharda University environment, if not physically, virtually. I was there some time back. It was great to have a chat with all your students that day. Now, the subject we have chosen today, and it's very specific, is the changing global paradigm, and specifically to Hollywood and the world cinema. We are going through probably a temporary bump on the road. Things are shutting down, lives are controlled. the environment is what it is. How does that impact the entertainment business? In fact, there is a complete change in the way we consume entertainment right now. That is the first major change visible. The primary change that we are seeing all over the world, globally, is the closing down of cinemas. So the entertainment distribution business is now limited to digital devices. You can watch on your cell phone, on your computers, on your televisions, as much as you want, any amount of entertainment. But you can't go to a cinema and watch a film. That has taken out a substantial portion of revenues for the film industry globally. It has also changed the way we view films. When you buy a ticket to watch a film in a cinema, the business of entertainment views it differently. It's a choice that you make. You set aside time, you go out possibly with your family or friends, and you are engaged with the medium of entertainment or the media of entertainment for a specific period in a darkened environment. You enjoy a movie in that space. The cinema watching experience is the primary form of entertainment, visual entertainment globally. Now, we are deprived of that. So now we have an option of watching it digitally. That limits the amount of experience that you can get because obviously you're distracted. You are in home situations. There are other things happening around you. The devotion to that particular work of art is not 100%. You could walk out, walk in, and it impacts you. So socially it impacts you. It impacts you also commercially because the cost of going out, the cost of paying for a film ticket is much more than what you do by watching it at home. And this has adversely impacted in a way, the film industry. The cinema industry is going through a challenge. It's a huge challenge. It's something that they'll have to figure a way out with the help of governments around the world, how to recover from this. It's the same thing the hospitality industry is facing. And these things are not easy. They cost a lot of money to maintain cinemas. It costs a lot of money to pay salaries. And if there's no incoming income, that will be a problem. So that's one issue that we are facing, the closing of cinemas during this period. On the other hand, we have the world of Netflix's, Apple TV, and the OTT platforms mushrooming. All over the world. They were doing that before, and they are doing it now. This brings access to the latest of the world of entertainment right on your doorstep, right in your living room. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's a great thing. I think it opens you up to the world of entertainment in a completely new form. You don't have appointment television anymore. You can choose when you want to watch, how many times you want to watch, where you want to watch, under what circumstances. So that flexibility is important. It also creates more opportunities for content producers to create contents of all types because there are more buyers in the market and there are more people who want to hear your stories. So this creates a completely new revenue stream and a lot of income is generated from this. The only problem they are currently facing in this space of Netflix OTT platforms is that even though there's a lot of content being created, no producer can actually own the library of what he creates for these companies. Some of these companies have very strong laws and they actually own the content that you produce for them in perpetuity, bringing a completely new paradigm shift to the world of copyrights and ownership of your own content. It's like asking Shakespeare to write 36 plays, but he will not be able to put his name beyond a point or earn any money from it. They will belong to the company that publishes it. That's a new paradigm shift in the movie business because movie businesses, people are very particular about owning copyright. But the OTT platforms have a completely new way of looking at it and they are closing that option. So it's a case-to-case basis. Some people probably can get copyright still, but majority of them have a problem there. The other thing that has affected the movie business tremendously is the business of film festivals. Now, with the coming of the coronavirus and the COVID-19 situation, travel is restricted. You can't travel between countries, between nations, between continents. So the film festivals that were genuinely the go-to places for selling, buying the films, for watching new cinema, watching the greatest works of the greatest filmmakers of our times have all got restricted. They are now getting on the virtual platforms, which is not the same thing. Obviously not, because going to a place, attending an event requires a certain time commitment, requires a certain financial commitment, requires a whole lot of things. Those are not happening now. So the Cannes Film Festival was the first one to go down. We just shut down this year for the first time in their history. They had to close the festival. They couldn't even do it. The next ones are also going to have a problem. And even if they do it, getting people to come will be a problem. There are quarantine laws. There are all kinds of laws right now in effect. So 2020, we won't have many festivals and many markets. The market aspect of the festival is also important, sometimes not so well highlighted because the glamour takes over and the red carpets take over and the quality of cinema takes over. But at each of these festivals, a lot of money gets exchanged. A lot of films get sold. A lot of products get launched. A lot of films get funded. And there are these conferences along with them where you learn the latest techniques in the art, the science, and the commerce of the movie business. All that is gone. It will probably go virtual, and we'll have to attend conferences like the one we're attending now. So that's the third thing. And in spite of the COVID virus and everything else that's holding us back, I am now getting more scripts in my inbox than ever before. So people are extremely creative in this lockdown period all over the world. People are spending more time on polishing their ideas, on making them better. A lot of development work is happening in Hollywood as we speak. A lot of good films will come out in the years to come because more energy is being spent on developing them. And there is no sense of deadline really because nobody knows when this will end. So people are spending enough time, which they didn't do earlier, in just polishing their scripts, polishing their ideas, making them more interesting. So these are the 4 or 5 things that I see happening in the business of cinema and entertainment around the world in the COVID virus situation. Now, where were we before this? We were heading in the right direction. We were heading in a perfect universe. For years, there was restriction of nationality, restriction of travel on a product. If you made a film in India, where would it go? Where would you send it? The only way to showcase a good film outside India would be through a distributor or through a festival. The OTT platforms, by their, big library system in which they buy, almost acquire everything that is available, has helped the individual filmmaker find a buyer who will listen to you. They may not buy, they may still negotiate, they may give you a raw deal, but they'll give you a market. And this market that they give is a global market. This is what was happening in the industry for the last several years. At least for the last 3-4 years, the OTT platforms were very, very aggressive, and more OTT platforms are just waiting to launch into this space. So for a content producer producing content anywhere on earth, especially in India, where we had limited choices of distribution, we have a new opportunity in the digital space. We can make a film now, make a short film, make a long film, make a documentary, make a subjective film, make an anti-establishment film, make a pro-establishment film, make anything that we want to, whatever our heart feels, and then give it out for the world to watch. This is a very big development. It didn't happen for many, many years. This was a sort of a bottleneck for filmmakers, how to sell their product. Similarly, in financing, more money is available now than ever before to make movies. Hollywood budgets have gone up. Even though the OTT platforms have come in and a lot of money is being poured into content, and the quality of content is somewhat okay, it's not great as yet, but it's improving and money is being put in more projects. Indian OTT companies have come in. They are making films now. They're producing films. A lot of big production houses have come up. They're investing in content. So we have, for a brand new filmmaker, for a film school student, a fantastic opportunity waiting outside the door once you graduate. It's a whole new world, and a whole new opportunity for jobs, whole new opportunity for telling your stories. I think this is a perfect time to be in the business that you are in. There's never been a better time. It will only get better from now onwards. And we should just focus on what makes us who we are. That is key. A lot of filmmakers in India watch a lot of American, European, and international fare, and then they kind of get into the trap of copying from those things. That will not work. The world outside wants to hear your individual voice. It's ultimately only originality pays off. You have to be as original as you can be. And that's what attracts audiences globally. And when they look at India, it's such a deep civilization, so many stories. There is no need to copy from the West. There is no need to make films like the way the rest of the world makes. We have to make our own films. And if we go deep into our own stories, if we go deep into our lives, we will find those stories. And it will become better if you start investing in yourself rather than investing in watching how other people tell their stories. And it can only get you a bigger market if you have the content as your own content, as your own stories, your personal life. So that's really what it is, and that's how we should go forward. Not necessarily. Some of the programming that they are doing is not up to the mark, and quality is suffering. And I personally feel I have issues with the use of language, the depiction of women, especially in some of these OTT platforms. It's horrendous. I can't approve of it, but maybe I'm just in a minority because they seem to be getting bigger every day. At the same time, they give us an opportunity to place our point of view, and if we have a better story than the ones being told, we should tell them. We should go out and tell our version, of the same events or the same stories or the same style of stories in a different way, our own way. So that is important. Maybe they are not hearing enough, but overall, just to capture eyeballs, they kind of do stuff which cannot be appreciated beyond a point. Some of them, not all of them, some of them. Thank you very much.